Welcome to the Metsnets Jets D podcast for week 3. We had a great week 2. Awesome week 2. If you guys followed me, I told you to follow me at Twitter at Metsnets Jets D on Twitter. If you go to my account, I posted my results from FanDuel and from Draftkings. Let's start with the FanDuel one. It was successful. Put in $45, got out $71. My main lineup was this Roethlisberger, Gurley, Connor, Funches, Hogan, Aguilar, Ricky Seals-Jones, who killed me again. He gets the catches, but he doesn't get the yards. Brown's defense Antonio Brown, excuse me, not Brown defense, and then Jets defense. I loved Gurley. If it wasn't for that injury, he could have had more, and I would have made more money on that FanDuel account. But the real big winner was my DK lineups. If you watch my video, you got to watch it and pay attention. You could have cashed out like me. I entered $179. I almost doubled that at $329. Each tournament I kind of did very well in, cashing in more than half of my lineups. So let's try to do that for week 3. If you just pay attention to my picks, I will try to steer you the right way so you can get to the top of your GPP contest. For week 3, we're going to start with my first QB option. I think I talked about him last week, but we're going to go back to the well with Deshaun Watson at 6,100. He's going against the poorest Giants defense with no Olivier Vernon yet again and no Eli Apple. So they start B.W. Webb at opposite corner from Janoris Jenkins. And that's going to be even worse. And that's going to be even better for the Houston Texans offense. Without Olivier Vernon, there's no pressure to put on the bad Houston Texans offensive line. And if you give Deshaun Watson time, then that allows him to survey the field and give the ball to DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller, Lamar Miller, and the list goes on and on. You can't give this man time. If he doesn't see someone down the field, he will run for it. I think this is the number 1 QB play for me this week, Deshaun Watson. And the way I would do that in my lineups to get your optimal progression in your lineups is if you get Deshaun Watson, you can pair him with DeAndre Hopkins, and you can go with Fuller, who I like more. Hopkins gonna see Janoris Jenkins coverage, but for Hopkins it really doesn't matter. He's a top 5 talent in the NFL at wide receiver. But my favorite play to pair with him, to pair with Watson, would be 5,900 Will Fuller. He's cheaper, and they have this like crazy connection. He seems to find him in the end zone in multiple occasions. Last year, he had 3 games with 2 touchdowns in them. It's just ridiculous. So with your Deshaun Watson pairing, I love Fuller. I prefer you to go with the 2-man combination with Watson. And if you want to bring that back, I think this week will be the Odell game that you guys, it usually happens like twice a year. He goes off for like 10 catches, almost 200 yards and a touchdown or 2. He does it every year. He did it against the Ravens last year. This year, I think it could happen in this game. I think the Giants are going to be down and they're going to need to fight back. And there's no corner that can handle Odell Beckham. All right, that's going to be my first stack. My first stack is Deshaun Watson, Hopkins, Fuller, and bring that back with Odell Beckham. Going into my next quarterback play will be Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G. I thought last week was going to be his big blowout game. He did fine against the Lions. He got you 16 points, better than his first matchup against Minnesota, which was obvious. But this week, I think he gets way more than 16 against the Kansas City Chiefs, who can't stop anyone. So this game is going to be like super back and forth. It already has like a 50-plus game total according to Las Vegas. Everyone's gonna go to the Mahomes side and ride that hot hand, but to be contrarian, you can go with Garoppolo and still get exposure to both sides of the game. So I like Garoppolo. I think he will outscore Mahomes, and I will pair him with Goodwin, who's got the Q tag currently, but he is going to be cleared to play this Sunday. I'm gonna pair him with Garcon, who I like as well. I'm gonna have him in plenty of places in my player pool. And to bring it back, I'm gonna go with Tyreek Hill. You can go Tyreek Hill. You can go Travis Kelce. Uh, Tyreek Hill is expensive. If you want to go, this is a relatively cheap stack with San Francisco, so you can afford to pay up for Tyreek Hill just in case it's back and forth, which it should be. So that's my second stack: Garoppolo, Goodwin, Pierre Garcon, and to bring it back, you can choose wherever you want: Kelsey, Hill. If you love Sammy Watkins, go ahead, but you need someone to bring it back. If you think a game is going to go off, then it's probably going to go. It's going to be back and forth. The team that's up, the other team's going to need to catch up. That's my second stack. Now to my next play, I'm gonna spend a little time on I got a third quarterback that I really like. It's gonna be Jared Goff. Chargers have a somewhat respectable run D. I know it's Todd Gurley. He should still have a great day. But I think this game is going to be another high-scoring affair, not a blowout. I understand the Rams are just a juggernaut, but the Rams haven't faced a real QB yet. They faced Arizona and Sam Bradford, who's horrible, and then Oakland Derek Carr. It's pretty much Oakland's not good. Let's be real. It was pretty much an easy game for the first two matchups for the Rams. Goff got 22 points against Arizona in a blowout. But if there's competition on the other side, which Phillip Rivers does provide, and those Chargers have tons and tons of options, so you just can't bottle up 1-2 and you think you got the game settled. No, the Chargers have Keenan Allen, they have Tyrell Williams, they have Mike Williams, they have Melvin Gordon, they got Austin Eckler. The list goes on and on. So I expect this game to be high scoring. My favorite wide receiver for the Rams this week is going to be Brandon Cooks, and the main reason why is because Brandon Cooks fits in the same situation the same mold that Tyreek Hill is, and Tyreek Hill kills the Chargers. He has a three-game sample size of getting a touchdown in each game, and that speed that Cooks and Tyreek provide is going to benefit them. So my number one option on the Rams is going to be Brandon Cooks, and my second option is going to be Robert Woods. If you want to go with the two-man stack with Jared Goff. If you want to bring it back with someone in this game stack, that's what I love to do. That's what you see at the top of every tournament. Like the dude that won the Million Maker last week, it was a game stack of the Chiefs and the Steelers. So you want to do a game stack of this game if you think it's going to be high scoring. And I would love to bring it back with Keenan Allen at 7,300. That's how you get majority of the points in this game. I think it's going to be very offensive on both sides of the ball. Those are my three quarterbacks. My three quarterbacks again are Deshaun Watson, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jared Goff. Now to the running backs. Running backs is going to be easy. My first play is going to be Latavius Murray. This is going to be a plug and play. Dalvin Cook is out for Sunday, so you go with the next man up. And against the worst run defense in the league, the Buffalo Bills, in a game that it's in Minnesota, it's going to be a blowout. Murray's going to kill them in the third and fourth quarters. You still can play Keenum. Don't just avoid him. There's going to be a way that the Minnesota Vikings are going to blow out this team. They got to score points first. And Keenum is going to throw all over the Buffalo defense to Diggs and Thielen. And then they're going to bring in – Murray's going to just destroy him in the second half with touchdowns and more touchdowns to ice this game out. I don't see no way that Buffalo can keep up with Minnesota. They got a rookie quarterback. They're the worst team in the league. It's pretty obvious. I'm gonna put I think I'm gonna have Murray in like all my lineups. He's a guarantee at 5,800. My second running back play is gonna be. I'm picking on another bad run D. And it's not even the fact that the defense is bad. It's the fact that Arizona can't sustain drives. So you got Sam Bradford. He goes 3-0 every single time. They punt the ball. Whoever they're facing is going to get more volume, more opportunities to make plays, more opportunities to score. And in this case, that's going to be the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears have Jordan Howard as the running back. Matt Nagy has came out this week already stating that he wants to feed Jordan Howard more this week. So I'm putting A plus B equals C, and I'm giving you Jordan Howard is going to go off this week. Coach already came out backing him up. The game script should be in the favor of the Bears and their dominant defense with Khalil Mack, and it's just obvious play to me. If you play these two running backs in most of your lineups, you have 5,300 left for your salary, which is still fine. You get your QB, get your cheap tight end and defense, and you can afford whatever you want. So that's going to be my number 2 play, Jordan Howard, in a positive game script against the bad Arizona Cardinals. Let's going over to wide receivers now. I'm going back to the well. Last week I talked about him. He came through, just didn't get a touchdown. This week he will get a touchdown. Devin Funchess, like I said before, Greg Olsen is out. The targets go to Funchess and McCaffrey. Last week, who wouldn't want this? 7 receptions, 9 targets, 77 yards. If you got into the end zone, boom, 20 points. So another positive game script for Devin Funchess. Let's see what corner he's going against. I can't remember. It was the slot corner. He's not going to see Drake or Patrick. It really doesn't matter. It's going to be. Oh, let me go to the Panthers. Now, yet again, this is Fantasy Labs matchup section. Carolina Panthers. This is where I get my idea of matchups. Okay, William Jackson. All right, that's fine. He's going to have a height advantage against him. He's going to get targeted. He's going to avoid Drake or Patrick. Even though he's not someone to worry about because Devin Funchess is 6'5", so it really doesn't matter. He's going to get in the end zone this week. I expect Carolina to destroy the hot Bengals. They're going to cool off this week. Carolina's home, and Funchess should get a touchdown finally this week, and you should see another 9 to 10 plus targets coming his way. My next wide receiver, I already spoke about Odell Beckham, who I love. Next wide receiver, Cooks, I love. Emmanuel Sanders. I'm going to go back to him as well. He did fine last week. Just didn't get in. 4 for 96. He's going to have another great matchup against Baltimore. Baltimore's defense is different with Jimmy Smith out. As you saw last week, Andy Dalton picked them apart, and I expect Case Keenum to do the same. Baltimore's corners are suspect. Brandon Carr is okay. He's an outside corner, but the inside guy that's going to go against Emmanuel Sanders with his speed, he has no chance. And Case Keenum is going to target his favorite receiver in Sanders a ton. People might see that Baltimore's defense, they're home, so they're going to be good. But I see Denver going into Baltimore and beating them on the backs of Emmanuel Sanders, definitely getting in the end zone this week, and another multiple targets coming his way. Now to tight ends. Since I loved Jimmy Garoppolo, to continue that stack, that means I love George Kittle. The KC defense is just putrid on all facets, from the front seven to the back. George Kittle was supposed to have a good game against Detroit. Everyone was on him last week. He kind of gave up a dud, but that was because they were able to run all over Detroit, and Detroit has a horrible run defense, and that's why I had Breida, and he came up huge. That's why I got that. I almost doubled my money because I had Breida in the 4 o'clock games, and he busted a 66-yard touchdown, so that was huge. This is going to be a little different. I expect this to be high scoring through the passing way. So they're going to go back and forth. George Kittle is going to have his huge day that everyone's been waiting for. I love George Kittle at 4,500. My last tight end. And these are just people I'm choosing that were profitable for me last week and still have positive game script, but didn't get a touchdown. And that's going to be Jimmy Graham. I told you Jimmy Graham's going to have a huge game against Minnesota. He did, 6 for 95. Just didn't get in the end zone. He actually, I think he dropped the pass in the end zone, but that's fine. He's going to get a touchdown this week against the Washington Redskins, who have a funnel defense towards people that run across the middle. They have the top elite corner, and they tend to funnel targets through the middle of the field. Jimmy Graham is going to be there. He's a huge target for Aaron Rodgers, and I expect that maybe 695, but definitely with a TD, and he's going to boost you up. And they only put him up $100 more. That's fine. I'll take advantage of that pricing from DK. Okay, so we're going to go over my picks again. That was Deshaun Watson, Jimmy Garoppolo, Jared Goff, Latavius Murray, Jordan Howard, Devin Funches, Odell Beckham. I think he's going to have his huge day. George Kittle and Jimmy Graham at tight end. Would like to wish everyone a good week 3. Please follow me on Twitter. Yet again, I will post Monday or Sunday night my results. But follow me on Twitter at MessNetJetsD on Twitter. Please subscribe to the channel at MessNetJetsD on YouTube. And I wish you guys all the luck. See you next week. Thank you.